The moment I walked into the banquet hall, my stomach churned with a mix of dread and disbelief. My parents' wedding anniversary was supposed to be a celebration of love, a night filled with laughter, champagne, and memories. Instead, it became the night they humiliated me in front of everyone I knew. My father, with his smarmy grin, announced in front of our relatives and friends that I had failed in every way imaginable, and my mother, laughing as though it were some clever joke, added that I was a disappointment not worthy of the family name. I froze. The words pierced deeper than any knife ever could. I felt every eye in the room staring at me, the warmth of celebration replaced by a cold, burning shame. That night, I didn't just feel small, I felt invisible, unwanted, and unworthy of love from the people who had brought me into this world. For years, I had tried to be the perfect child. I studied hard, achieved what they expected, and smiled politely at their cruel comments, pretending they didn't hurt. I carried the weight of their expectations on my back like an invisible yoke, never daring to show my true self. But their humiliation at that anniversary changed something inside me. It was the breaking point. I realized that no matter how hard I tried, their love came with a price I could never pay. It was conditional, selfish, and toxic. That night, I left the hall silently, my heart pounding with humiliation, but my mind was sharp, calculating. They had destroyed my confidence, my dignity, my spirit. And now, they would feel the consequences of the person they had tried to crush. I spent the next few months quietly observing them. I watched how they flaunted their wealth, how they relied on social status and arrogance to command respect. They treated everyone around them with the same condescension they had shown me. But I noticed cracks, small weaknesses masked by pride, my father's obsession with appearances, my mother's vanity, their relentless desire to control everything and everyone. I started planting seeds subtly, weaving a web of consequences that would eventually expose them, without anyone suspecting a thing. I wasn't angry in a rash, reckless way. I was patient, methodical. I knew that revenge wasn't just about humiliation, it was about making them see the truth of who they really were. It began with their social circle. I sent carefully written messages revealing little-known facts about my parents' manipulations and deceit, facts that were true but had always been ignored. Slowly, their friends began questioning their generosity, their honesty, their intentions. Invitations stopped coming, polite smiles faded into awkward glances. They were losing the one thing they valued above all else, admiration. But I didn't stop there. I used my understanding of their finances and business ventures, quietly nudging their investments into precarious positions. Small things, invisible to the casual observer, started unraveling the carefully constructed image of perfection they had spent decades building. The worst part, for them, was the exposure of their own hypocrisy. I arranged for stories and documents to surface, things they had buried or dismissed, showing everyone that the people who presented themselves as paragons of virtue were in fact selfish, careless, and cruel. It was subtle but devastating. Friends confronted them, business associates withdrew, and the social events they loved so much became hostile, questioning spaces. The humiliation that I had endured at their anniversary, the shame that had burned me inside, now mirrored in their lives tenfold. And the most beautiful part, I didn't have to lift a hand publicly. It was all natural consequence, a mirror reflecting the ugliness they had hidden behind fake smiles and empty words. Watching them struggle from the sidelines, a complex storm of emotions raged within me. Part of me felt satisfaction, an almost intoxicating sense of justice. But another part, deeper and quieter, felt sorrow. I had wanted love from them once, approval, even kindness, and that longing never fully left me. Yet I realized that they were incapable of giving it, and for my own survival, I had to step out of the shadow they cast. My revenge, while cruel in some ways, was also an awakening for me. I was reclaiming my life, my identity, my dignity. I was no longer their child to manipulate, I was my own person, strong, determined, and unbroken. Years later, when the dust settled, they were a fraction of the people they had been. Their friends had vanished, their businesses were faltering, their pride shattered. And me, I had flourished. I built my career, my circle, my happiness from the ground up, untouched by the toxicity I had once endured. The memory of that humiliating night remained, but it no longer hurt. Instead, it became the catalyst for my strength, my resilience, and my freedom. I had been broken, yes, but I refused to let their cruelty define the rest of my life. In the end, the greatest revenge was not just ruining them, it was thriving despite them, living fully and unapologetically, showing the world that the child they had tried to destroy had risen stronger, wiser, and unstoppable.